They stepped through the portal, and the air immediately felt different, thicker, sweeter. This was the Carnival of Smiles, a place woven from cotton candy dreams and soft, pastel light. But something was wrong. The celebration was utterly, unnervingly still. Confetti hung suspended, mid-fall. The Ferris wheel had stopped mid-spin. Even the carousel horses were frozen. Caught forever in a moment of joyous gallop, it was perfection. Paused, a beautiful moment of happiness that felt completely hollow. And there she was, standing beneath a sign that blared its command, "Smile forever." Her grin was flawless, the kind you see on a billboard, too wide, too bright. Yet, the girl's eyes were shadows, exhausted. They didn't match the fierce, painted joy of her mouth. She was trapped, held prisoner by the very expression meant to set her free. In one quick blink, one single, silver tear escaped, and no one noticed. She was the star of the show, but her performance was agony. Then, the sound began, not real laughter, but a metallic, echoing giggle playing over hidden speakers, again and again. A continuous loop of forced happiness. Tiko, our brave little backpack, looked around nervously. The laughter was everywhere, bouncing off empty tents and silent game booths. It was the background music of this broken place, a creepy cheerfulness designed to convince you everything was fine, even when every fiber of the world screamed that it wasn't. The friends knew they were in a dangerous kind of beautiful. Mr. Scribbles, ever the curious gentleman, reached out to touch a vibrant, hovering balloon. It disintegrated immediately, crumbling into a shower of lifeless confetti dust. The illusion was fragile. Lala, the yellow light of hope, pulsed brighter, desperate to reignite the dead carnival bulbs. But the filaments remained stubbornly dark. This place was running on fumes. A shell of joy sustained only by its own memory. It was beauty stuck in time. A lie dressed up as the perfect funfair. When the girl finally spoke, it was a secret whispered from a place of deep fear. "If I stop smiling," she confessed, her face half hidden by shadow, "everything breaks." And almost on cue, the ground accepted her vulnerability. A faint tremble ran through the dirt. Fine cracks, spiderweb thin, began to spread under the pastel-colored cotton candy stands. The girl was denying her own pain, terrified that to be authentic was to destroy everything around her. Her friends tried the only thing they knew, pure, unbridled joy. Mr. Scribbles conjured funny faces in the air. Tiko bounced and juggled with all of his tiny might. Lala flared and glowed like celebratory fireworks. But the laughter they sought remained hollow. Every valiant effort was followed by silence. Their acts of forced positivity fell flat, unable to fill the emotional emptiness of a heart that was simply too tired to keep up the pretense. As Didiani watched, she was drawn to a cracked mirror in an old candy booth. She stared at her own image, and for a second, her reflection looked back with a smile that felt strained. When she reached up to touch her cheek, the reflection delayed. It was a momentary glimpse into her own hidden pain, a sudden self-recognition that sometimes her own cheerfulness was just another mask. She saw the girl's burden reflected in her own eyes. The world couldn't hold the denial anymore. The sky above the carnival fractured like fragile glass, its cheerful painted clouds splintering and falling away. Even the girl's perfect, forced grin flickered, threatening to disintegrate. The warm pastels of the funfair shattered, giving way to a cold, stark white light, a visible sign that the heavy weight of repressed emotion was finally violently breaking through. The pressure was too much. The girl finally collapsed, letting the tears flow. "I'm so tired of pretending," she sobbed. Her voice echoed not in a space of judgment, but in a space of grief. With her confession, the final colors drained from the rides. They weren't destroyed, just honest. Didiani knelt beside her, empathy finally replacing the need for a solution. It was the honest breakdown that this entire world needed. Didiani took the girl's hands, and her touch carried a soft, emanating light. "You don't have to be okay all the time," she said. It was a simple truth, a healing balm. The warmth of that light began to spread, chasing the gray away, slowly, hesitantly. The colors began to return to the carnival, not the harsh, blinding pastels of before, but softer, Gentler hues. Acceptance was the catalyst for relief. The girl lifted her hand and deliberately wiped away the last remnants of her painted smile. The flakes of color drifted down like relieved, delicate petals. The carnival paused, then let out a collective, soft sigh. The world felt cleaner, lighter. Vulnerability hadn't broken the world. It had set it free. A peaceful stillness descended, replacing the haunting silence. Then they heard it, faint, genuine laughter. Not loud, not forced, just real. A true sound of simple human joy. The carousel spun, not at a manic pace, but slowly, surely. The soft, beautiful music of the funfair returned. Healing wasn't about being perfectly happy. It was about being authentically whole. Didiani felt a deep, profound relief. She had helped, but then she felt a change in herself. Her own smile trembled, faltered, and vanished. She couldn't bring it back. A tight close-up revealed the gray horizon now reflected in her own eyes. The girl's burden was gone, but the act of taking on that pain of truly empathizing had left Didiani vulnerable. The shared moment had become a shared weight. The portal, their only way home, began to flicker violently. The carnival lights dimmed one final time. The girl, now safe but fearful for her rescuer, whispered a final warning, "Don't stop smiling." But Didiani's face remained still, frozen in a mask of emotional exhaustion. As the portal shrank to a tight, circular point of light, the colors drained, and the world stilled. Didiani was trapped, paralyzed in a terrifying, silent moment of her own denial. The mirror had claimed its truth.